Can a Rwandan child aged between 5 and 12 become able to self-teach robotics after only 1 hour of contact with the facilitator? I got optimistic about that and decided to try it. I am Gabriel BAZIRAMWABO, a student at the Kobe Institute of Computing, Japan. I thought, if children were facilitated to write robotics programs in their native language, and if the programming syntaxes were made very simple, children would learn robotics very fast and with lots of fun. I went ahead and developed a robotics programming language, Kinyarwanda, the Rwanda's native language. I called that language Benax. Then I built a simple robot that can be programmed using that language, Benax. I called that robot BenaxBot. BenaxBot has a camera, a 2-finger grip, a light, a microphone, a speaker, sensors, motors and wheels, power bank, and a Wi-Fi device. When the first prototypes of both Benax and BenaxBot were ready, I moved back to Rwanda and got 9 children to test the effectiveness of my idea. Iramata aged 10, Victor aged 9, and Ek aged 12 were the first children that I trained to program BenaxBot. The training methodology was simple. I doubled it 410 120. That is 10 minutes to know each other, 10 minutes to explain what BenaxBot is and what it can do, 10 minutes to demonstrate how BenaxBot is programmed, 10 minutes to assign specific tasks to learners, then 20 minutes where learners freely write programs to BenaxBot. The methodology worked. My utmost joy that I was seeing children able to understand the concepts that took me weeks to understand when I was learning programming. The next team was younger, that is, Alcide aged 8 and Bruno aged 7. I kept the same methodology, 410 120, and it worked here too. Then came the most challenging team, and in the most challenging environment. Lucky aged 8, Gabriel aged 6, and Stacy aged 7 acted like in competition rather than teamwork. Everyone wanted to make sure she or he could do it individually. It didn't affect my methodology. I only had to ensure they all practice equally. But wait, Gabriel, who is aged 6 in middle, required extra hours. Gabriel had only completed the kindergarten He had difficulties with recognizing and replicating unfamiliar words. To familiarize him with the words mostly used to program BenexPort, it took us 2 evenings before the actual training took place. And what about 5 years of age? With the current prototype of Benax language, which only involves text-based programming, I didn't succeed to train a 5-year-old child to program BenexPort. Wright, aged 5, could easily recognize the words, but it was very hard for him to replicate those words. The next prototypes will remove the fix to quicken word recognition and replication for children at 5 and even 6 years of age. And after all, what would remain in the mind of a child 10 days after the training? I was curious to know. I visited Egg at home 10 days after I trained him. He wanted to know more and more how robots work. He asked about how robots get energy and how they keep doing things over and over. It was interesting to see a child discussing about energy at a young age. He also wanted to try and write a program without my help. Amazing, he succeeded. Are we approaching a breakthrough with this research? If it didn't require our children to first learn any foreign language before they interact with advanced technology, or how quickly they would get skillful.